Hi, this is Andy from Cineworld Cinemas in Sheffield, and once again I'm here to give you a rundown of what's new at the cinema over this next week. First up, a British comedy in the form of The Wedding Video, which stars Rufus Hound, Lucy Punch, Robert Webb and Miriam Margolyes. When Rafe, a shambolic layabout, is asked to be the best man for his once equally laid-back brother Tim, he jumps at the chance. Unfortunately for Rafe, Tim is marrying into one of the most socially upstanding families in the country. As a gift for the happy couple, Rafe decides to video the wedding, and what he captures is what you see: confessions, arguments, and everything. It isn't long before his easygoing nature soon clashes with the rigidness of Saskia's relatives, especially the grandmother Patricia, played by Miriam Margolyes, who could give Hyacinth Bucket a run for her money in terms of social superiority. Directed by Nigel Cole, who's the director responsible for films like Made in Dagenham and Calendar Girls, The Wedding Video is a comedy for anyone who has ever clashed with their potential in-laws.
Being a best man, I've decided to film my brother's wedding. Rog, don't stand there. What? You're in the shot.
She says she went to your school, Saskia.
You're marrying Saskia, that's legend.
I got on with this biker gang. Turned out they were using me as a drugs mule.
She's joking.
Let's find out just how much the old bride and groom know about each other. What's the most embarrassing thing that's happened during sexual intercourse?
Don't you dare.
You're not meant to be...
Turn it down.
We put weights within the bouquet and it will eliminate bingo wings on your big day.
So the special moment... Wedding filled with butterflies. Those four are dead. I don't want that.
Mum, you asked me to travel in a Rolls Royce.
Yes.
Fine.
Yes.
Then you change your mind. You want to travel in a Bentley.
Don't you want magic,
Fine.
Saskia? Don't you want enchantment? I'm just a mother who wants her daughter's wedding day to be special.
Are you both virgins?
The skill of the planner is to remain a pool of calm.
And how do you manage that?
Well, I can't remember what they're called, but it's fine as long as you don't mix them with alcohol. Okay.
Wow. You're looking for wine for how many?
Amazing.
600.
600?
This is a wedding, and you treating it like it's some party?
Sorry.
Sass!
I'm unhappy. Okay?
So really...
It's just the wedding and the whole...
I just want you to be happy.
I'm taking this as seriously as I've ever taken anything.
So, are you saying that the groom hasn't arrived either?
You know, you can't call yourself a real hunter till you've put the old chap in a tiger's mouth.
Oh, my God.
Fancy something a bit more action-packed? Well, you don't come more action-packed than The Expendables 2, which stars Sylvester Stallone, Jason Statham, Jet Li, Dolph Lundgren, Bruce Willis, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Chuck Norris. The list is endless. When Mr. Church, played by Bruce Willis once again, hires the Expendables for a seemingly simple mission, things take a turn for the worst when one of the team is killed. Not just that, but 6 pounds of weapons-grade plutonium have also been stolen, placing the entire world in danger. Now, trapped behind enemy lines and with the world at risk from nuclear attack, the Expendables must overcome the odds, take their revenge and save the day. Along with returning action stars Stallone, Statham, Lundgren, Terry Crews, Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jet Li, The Expendables 2 has now upped the action star quota with the addition of names like Jean-Claude Van Damme and Chuck Norris. With Con Air and the mechanic director Simon West taking the reins, you can be sure that this sequel is going to be bigger than the cast's biceps combined.
Unloaded?
Somebody's hooked.
And I pronounce you man and knife.
psychotic gang of mutts. Today is payback. 6 months of pure plutonium is powerful enough to change the balance of the world. Imagine what 5 tons would do.
You're gonna need more men if you expect to get out of here alive.
I'm back. You can't let the contents of that safe fall into the wrong hands.
What's the plan?
Track him, find him, kill him.
Here we go!
How did you do that?
Lucky me.
Get
His shoe is bigger than this car.
Shoot something!
You're not doing what I think you're doing.
Yeah, I am.
You're gonna need a new plane.
Next up, we have 360, which stars Anthony Hopkins, Jude Law and Rachel Weisz, who are leading the cast in this provocative romantic merry-go-round. It's set in Vienna, and newly recruited young Bratislavian escort Mirka meets her first client, British businessman Michael Daly, played by Jude Law. Back in London, Daly's wife Rose is having a passionate affair with a Brazilian photographer. The photographer's girlfriend, Laura, leaves him and meets an older man, Anthony Hopkins, in the US airport. As the baton is passed from one character to the next, we meet a succession of other characters, which include a convicted sex offender played by Ben Foster on his way to a halfway house, and a married Muslim dentist who's in love with his assistant. The film is written by Peter Morgan, who gave us films like The Queen and Frost Nixon, and it's a mesmerising kaleidoscopic drama exploring the connections that bind us. The film is also directed by the same director who gave us The Constant Gardener and the Oscar-nominated City of God.
Hello, love. It's me. I'm sitting in a restaurant, alone, wishing you were here.
We married very young, and now we're grown up, become different people.
I was traveling on my way here with a young girl from Brazil. She said, "You only live once. How many chances do we get?" Been in London long?
Mostly waiting at home while my boyfriend slept with other women.
Hi.
I miss you.
I got your messages last night. You sounded emotional.
Did I?
It's gonna be quite a shock being on the outside with all the temptations.
Don't be shy. 20 beautiful girls on one webpage. Why do they pick you? One girl was rich after one day.
Wow.
My daughter ran away, presumably into the arms of someone who did her harm, I guess.
I'll make you happy, right? I'll make you feel good.
Mm-hmm. He knows nothing from my past. He thinks I'm a good, innocent girl.
No one knows where we are. No one can reach us.
She's gone. I don't know what happened.
Kiss me. Come on.
I don't want to wait anymore, so maybe this is the time.
What if I'm no different? What if I haven't changed?
If documentaries are more your thing, particularly ones set around music, then how about Searching for Sugarman? Back in 1968, two record producers discovered a charismatic, soulful Mexican-American singer-songwriter named Rodriguez in a Detroit bar. Convinced they'd found the next Bob Dylan, they signed him up and put out a critically acclaimed album called Cold Fact, which promptly flopped. Rodriguez disappeared, and it was even rumoured that he committed suicide. Few years later, on a different continent, a bootleg copy of Cold Facts became the soundtrack to a revolution. In apartheid South Africa, Rodriguez's anti-establishment lyrics had struck a chord with a generation of disaffected Afrikaners. The album eventually went platinum, but what really happened to Rodriguez? In the mid-90s, South African fans Craig Bartholomew and Stephen Sugar Surgeman embarked on a quest to find out. In this new documentary, Malik Benjelloul charts the journey that proved stranger and more exhilarating than anyone ever anticipated.
If I had to name 10 artists that I've ever been involved with, Rodriguez would be in the top 5.
He's my most memorable artist.
Bob Dylan was mild to this guy.
He was this wandering spirit around the city. When he opened up and sang, he went, whoa, this guy's got it.
We expected big things, and they did absolutely nothing.
How many records do you think he sold in America?
In America, 6.
Nobody had even heard of him. How can that be? How can that be?
It's a bit of a mystery how the first copy of Cold Fact came to South Africa, but to us, it was one of the most famous records of all time. He was the soundtrack to our lives.
Bigger than Elvis.
Much bigger than Rolling Stones. Any revolution needs an anthem. The message it had was be anti-establishment. The first opposition to apartheid, they were influenced by Rodriguez.
Nobody knew anything about him. He was a mystery.
Then we found out that he had committed suicide.
The story differs a lot, and a lot of people have different versions of the story.
He set himself alight on stage.
He reached down and pulled up a gun and pulled the trigger. I thought it'd make a good story, find out how Rodriguez died.
So we started looking quite deeply at the lyrics.
And one day, just by accident, I found it. What I thought was the end of story was actually just the beginning, and the best part was still to come.
Said wanted, and have you seen this man? As a matter of fact, I have seen him before.
Sounds like something you would make up if you were bragging on some dream or something.
It didn't work out, but don't ever doubt how. He's like a wise man, a prophet, way beyond just being a musical artist.
He had this kind of magical quality that all genuine poets and artists have. I think he's representative of the human spirit, of what's possible.
This is all too strange to be true. These are the days of miracles and wonder.
Finally, middle of the week sees the release of The Three Stooges, directed by the Farrelly brothers. After being left on a nun's doorstep as babies, Larry, Curly and Moe have grown into the eye-poking, face-slapping, nyuck-nyucking trio known as the Three Stooges. When the hapless brothers hear that the orphanage where they grew up is in danger, they decide to do everything they can to save it. Of course, things don't go as planned, and the empty-headed Trinity soon find themselves embroiled in a murder plot, as well as starring in a hit reality TV show. As lifelong fans of the original Three Stooges, this film has been a passion project for the Farrelly brothers, who are famed for their slapstick humour with films such as Dumb and Dumber and There's Something About Mary. Comedic co-stars in the form of Jane Lynch from Glee, Larry David from Curb Your Enthusiasm, The Three Stooges is set to be a laugh-out-loud event for the entire family.
It was a blessed day when through these hallowed gates a stranger rode and delivered unto them a miracle. This spring...
What is that gadget? This is an iPhone.
iPhone?
Uh-huh.
Hello?
Hello? There's nobody there.
Get some Moe.
Spread out. Mind your P's and Q's.
Don't forget to dot the I's.
Certainly.
Larry.
He's got a headache.
No, I don't.
How about now?
Yeah, it's coming on. And Curly.
This little light of mine.
Hey, guys. Yeah.
Oh, hiya, Sister Bernice.
There's something different about you. Did you get a haircut? From 20th Century Fox.
You got any dynamite? Come here.
Three Stooges.
Hiya, Snook. I got your present.
Really?
Yeah, go on, open it.
So that's a pretty mixed bag of lineup for new releases at Cineworld Sheffield this week. Whatever you watch over the next week, I hope you enjoy it. Thanks very much.